The AG's municipal audit results paints a sorry state of affairs at our municipalities. But did President Zuma's administration lead us into this tragic situation by looting the economy through state capture? Well, Financial Mail Deputy Editor Sikhonathi Mantshantsha opens up his reporter's notebook to offer us some insights. Good evening, Sikhonathi. Thanks very much for joining us. But looking at the, Auditor General and report about what's going on at like local government, one can't help but think of what is happening at state-owned enterprises, what's happening at provincial, as well, of course, as national government. Because you guys, having looked at the, shall we call it, anatomy of state capture over the past a couple of years, what are the sort of things from the investigations that you have been doing that sort of lead to officials not doing the right things? In other words, not being able to report properly, not spending monies properly, not being able to account for public money?
There's a lot of things. It's a combination of factors, but in this particular period that you are referring to, the key has been the state-led corruption, as has been led by Jacob Zuma's government. It's been deliberate corruption, so you don't do your job so that your friend can benefit, and this is well all coordinated. It's not a mistake that the job does not itself get done. It does not get done in order to displace that business person. So you can have, let's take the Guptas for example, a prominent example that not many people think about or notice. Anglo-American today does not supply coal to many of Eskom's mines. All the tight mines are gone. 4 years ago, it was the biggest supplier of coal to Eskom. Contracts that Eskom had signed voluntarily, and then the biggest issue came when Malusi Kigaba had to allow Eskom to negotiate contracts for the Kusile power station that is under construction in Emalahleni, and he said, nope, don't do it. And a few days later, the Guptas were pitching up at Anglo-American, offering to help them bump up their stake. The result is there is still no mine that has been developed. Only recently did Eskom finally, or Eskom is only now in the process of signing a deal with Mike Teke's company, Seriti Resources. Anglo-American has gone out of South Africa in terms of coal purely because of state capture. So you displace business people and get your friends that can't even do the job, and you pay them very inflated prices because you've just created this emergency that did not exist in the first place.
Now, how do people who are in key positions, taking decisions or at least following the law, how do they get confused or instructed to follow these people who are giving them obviously often illegal decisions?
Let's do away with confusion. Absolutely no confusion. I have said at the start that this is a deliberate attempt to steal from the public. So we've got in South Africa the constitution that gives the president unprecedented powers. He can wake up tomorrow and decide you are the minister, and he wakes up tomorrow and decides you are not the minister. And the constitution says it doesn't have to explain to anybody, and that power has been abused. So the people that work there, one, know they are working for this person. They are not necessarily working for the nation. They are working for this person, regardless of the law. This is what the president wants, and this is what the president will get.
Presumably, this is how it cascades down to like provincial and, of course, local level, where mayors are the presidents in that local sphere, and the premier is the president in the provincial sphere.
In the province, and all of these people have sat in something called a branch of the ruling party and made a decision there about how tenders will be allocated. So it's greed on their part in all levels, and in these officials that themselves accept these kinds of illegal instructions. They know very well what they are doing. There's no confusion, there's no mistake, but they are just working for this guy and they are working for themselves.
So it
becomes a free-for-all. What does job security?
The fact that they know that if I don't carry out this instruction, I'll be gone tomorrow.
If you worry about whether you'll be gone tomorrow or not, you should not be in that job in the first place. Good people have options, and you can't keep a good man down. Yes, they worry about job security because in the first place, they are not qualified to be in those jobs. How many times have you heard of a municipal manager who does not have the minimum requirements? How many times do you know of a financial manager who does not have the minimum requirements for the job they are doing? They worry about their jobs because they should not be in those jobs in the first place.
Very briefly, I know that a lot of these people remain in the public sector, whether it's local government, provincial government, or SOEs or national government. So we still have them.
We have them. There's been a failure of the law enforcement agencies. It's not for lack of evidence that nobody has been arrested, nobody has been charged, nobody has been jailed. It's just that the prosecuting authorities and the police have blatantly refused to do their job, which is investigate crime, prosecute and indeed arrest people.
Sikhonathi Mantshantsha, thanks very much for opening your notebook.